let's get into the newspaper review. I have my guest joining me this morning, and is now the president and the business editor of the New National Star, talking about Mr. Sam Otuoye. Very good morning to you, Mr. Sam.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
The pleasure is mine. And well, let's get into it very quickly. It's by-election season again. Of course, tomorrow, over 7,000 polling units will be open for voters to go in to cast their vote. With INEC already sent out sensitive materials, for this election. What do you think we should be expecting, tomorrow?
Well, thank you so much. Believing that INEC will do the right thing, because electoral reforms have been the issue, because the Nigerians don't have confidence in our electoral process and processes. Believing that it could not go the way of other elections, particularly this party-leaning thing, where any party that is in power, when you have all the council elections and by-elections and more of those, they will always win it as if it's cast in stone, which is not supposed to be. If any candidate that is more popular than, or the most popular candidate should win as a matter of fact. But essentially what we see in our system is where people are appointed, elections are done by selection, no more election, and all of those malpractices. So INEC should stand up and correct some of these impressions Nigerians have. It's not a good image for them. In Nigeria, will come to a point where when you hear election, you just wave it by the hand. You wave it away because you know that nothing new will happen. But it's a system that can be changed. There's no system that cannot be changed. So it's not about the candidates. It's about the INEC, living up to indigenous, living up to the whole reforms and what it should be. So what I expect from the election tomorrow is that INEC should stand out and reclaim the good name it should have. But for the candidates and the governors, they will do what they want to do as usual. But it's INEC that will put it down and say no. It's INEC that should decide the election, and it's the people that should decide the election through INEC and not the powers that be. That is what it should be. So let it be tomorrow.
All right, so we have let's look at the statistics. We have two senatorial districts, that's in Anambra State and Edo State, that will be, these elections will be conducted. And we also have 5 federal constituencies. We have Edo, we have Jigawa, we have Ondo, we have Kaduna and Borno. But there is a very striking thing with Borno, and that's the fact that INEC is already thinking of moving 4 polling units because of insecurity. What do you make out of this? And also, what do you make out of voting behavior? Do you think voters will come out to vote based on the performances so far? Or do you think it's just going to be an election of just replacement?
I think so much. I like the word you use, election of replacement. That is what it essentially looks like. Because let me talk about the Borno case. Yes, the relocation of those schools very important, because life must be secure before who rules or who leads. is very important. Those places have been very volatile, security speaking. So I think whatever we can do to secure the life of those that will come out, because generally there will be that apathy because of what we have seen in the last election. After 2022 elections, that people came out in mass and they were like, wow, the change is happening now. But unfortunately, that change was spotted. So since then, people have been, when you talk about election, as I said earlier, they will wake it up. But all in all, the election that we are partying, when people will not come out, there will be a case of replacement, yes. Then INEC, once again, is being called upon to change the trajectory of election perception in Nigeria. I think that is very key. With that, every other thing will fall in line. The confidence will come back, and electoral apathy will be put, to the very minimum, and all of those other factors that are picking against our electoral sanity, will be taken care of. Yes.
All right. So before we, of course, I have a video that I'm going to play right about now. But before then, let's look at the continuous voter registration that is going on at the moment. Of course, that's online. Do you think Nigerians are open to taking advantage of this? That's on one end, and on the other end, of course, we know that FCT, that's the Federal Capital Territory, is getting set for its local government elections. Of course, with the details of the candidates already published by INEC. Are we going to see a repeat of the last elections where we didn't really have Nigerians coming out to cast their votes when it comes to local government elections? Or do you think with the general elections, the 2023 elections has come and gone, and of course the performance that we have seen so far, that we're going to see something different when it comes to this particular local government elections?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think the local government election will have a different dimension because of the new party, ADC. Yes, ADC will want to test their strength with the local government elections, because local government with the chairmanship being there, the chairman of a local government is like governor of the state and the president of a nation, So the ADC will test the waters with these elections. That's one key thing these elections are going to have this time, and that is one thing that will drive, the electorates to go to the polls. So the ADC will want to show some strength. And the Abuja case, I think it's coming up on the 26th of February, somewhere 2026. Yes, in February 2026, something like that. So, Mr. Wike will want to show his strength. Before now, we had threatened some people that they will not return. Well, that's in the volume of what our electoral system means. A politician is telling a leader, someone that have won an election, that the next election will not return, meaning that he has some power to manipulate the person out of the game.
Could it be a matter of power, some powers, or could it be the matter of performance? Because if we look at the FCT case, it seems to be a very peculiar case. We've seen the back and forth between the minister of FCT and these elected local government chairmen we've seen, and councillors. We've seen the issues with the primary health care. We've seen the issues with primary teachers' salaries and the rest. So do you think it's really about the political power, like you put it, or it's basically about performance?
Yeah, thank you so much. Performance is key, but you know what goes on in Nigeria when the man in power does not like your faith, you're not from his party. Because if you look at those issues of school teacher salaries and all of those, before that situation, skyrocketed, there was room for even Mr. Wike to have handled it at the point where that thing was looming, right? Before it got out of hand. And immediately he stepped in, everything well. That's what happened in that situation. Immediately, Mr. Wike said, okay, please come, let's discuss, and we are pulling up and we are paying and all that. So he had the power to handle that situation. You can hang a dog by calling him a bad name, right? So, after all, the APC local government chairman against other party chairmen, note that the local government chairman in Abuja, they were elected under the 2023 election that was free and fair. So now you must place them, those that are in opposition. Those things were made possible. Those things were made possible to give them a bad name. I'm not saying that they perform so well and or they didn't perform so well. But the point remains that when we talk about performance, it depends on the percentage and it depends on comparison. This local government that is of APC and this local government that is PDP, right? Who has done better and to what extent? So I don't want to hinge it on performance. I want to hinge it on politics because everything here goes politics.
Well, Mr. Sam, you seem to be very political this morning, but that's no challenge about that. We'll have to stay on this particular matter. We have more matters to talk about, of course. Labour has given federal government 7 days. But before we get to that, let's see this video on the preparedness of INEC for this election. And when we come back from it, we'll get to the next conversation.
Free election.
My name is Professor Anubum Ono, the resident electoral commissioner in Edo State. Any election that critical stakeholders are not involved, that election will not appear to be credible. So it is important that we invite the political parties that express interest to conduct contest for this election. And they are here. They have seen the material, the sensitive materials. We conducted them around. We also asked them whether they have any reservations. So far, there's no complaint. The exercise so far has been seamless and we are good to go. The sensitive material will go from the central bank here in Benin to the various local government areas. We have 7 local government areas that are participating for this by-election. 5 from Edo Central and 2 from the obvious contents. The advice to the political parties is that they should tell their supporters to come and participate, to vote for a candidate of their choice, and be rest assured that their vote will count. Yes, security is very key, and the security agencies, they have promised us that they will give us security, especially in the liberal area. See what if their vote will not count, we wouldn't have told them to come here. The exercise is seamless to the knowledge of the public. There is nothing like secrecy. Right from the day we announced the notice of election and the schedule of activities, we have always interacted with the public, the critical stakeholders, and the political parties.
All Progressive Congress. My name, Honorable Prince Agedo. Like I said in the other interview, I'm fully satisfied with what I'm seeing so far. I don't see any cause for alarm right now. Everything is looking good. They came on time. The material distribution is on time, and they are doing everything perfectly the way it should go. But for here, everything looks fine.
I'm Charles Imotian, the State Secretary, ADC. The exercise is okay, it's transparent, and all things are going on well. Yeah, I will beg all citizens to come out and vote. The idea of staying indoor, exonerating yourself from voting, will not tell us, will not give us a good representative. 100% okay. Even with our security agencies, they are all doing our transportation.
I'm the Admin Secretary, PDP Edo State. We have inspected the sensitive materials. So far, the inspection went well, and I'm satisfied with what's happened here. So I want to advise INEC to ensure that the election, the by-election that is going to take place on Saturday, should be free, fair, and credible.
In terms of the preparation for the elections, I would say that the Edo State Police Command are fully ready for the senatorial and House of Rep election that will take place on the 16th of August 2025. We have deployed over 7,000 personnel, most of whom are personnel serving in Edo State. We also got support from the Force Headquarters, the Inspector General of Police, IGP, Kayode Adeolu Ekpetuku, PhD NPM has been magnanimous enough to send us 4 units of mobile policemen to support our manpower for these elections. I can assure you that we have 3 personnel to a polling unit. We also have support from all our sister agencies, the Immigration, Civil Defense, Corrections. They're all working with us on these elections. And we are working with all the security agencies, including the military, who are going to help us to maintain the outer cover in line with their mandates. So I can say we are fully set for the elections. In addition to this, we also had the peace accord, which parties and their representatives and the candidates also, or their representatives were here, and they signed the accord where they have indicated their interest to ensure that they will go by the rules of the election, that they will be take advantage of the fair playground that is being provided, facilitated by the police and the ISS. And so they have also indicated their interest to ensure that there will be no violence throughout the elections.
We are committed to a peaceful election in Edo and across the nation in coming to this place to participate in this exercise. It's very significant to tell Edo people that yes, we are there and we participate in this election without any form of violence. We are going to be there to do it according to the rules. We have not, and we have never, we will not, and we shall not be involved in any form of violence in election process. So we have demonstrated that today, and we are telling our people to go about the exercise in a most peaceful way so as to replicate the image of our great party, the APC.
The meeting went peacefully. I advised them to keep peace, no trouble, no death, toggling, vote buying to be abandoned.
My name is Paul Otuoye, the Labour Party senatorial candidate for Edo Central. What happened was, like you are all aware, when the INEC rec in Edo State said that Labour Party did not indicate interest to contest the election. Actually, that's not true. The truth is that INEC was duly notified by the national headquarters of Labour Party in Abuja that they want to conduct their primaries, and they are aware. And we went to conduct our primaries on the actual date. And after conducting the primaries, they were given all the information after we had conducted the primaries, and that has been a serious issue. We had to go to court to tell INEC that we are duly ready to contest the election. So we don't know what is going on. Nigerian politics, there is a lot of things going on, but hopefully we're still in court. Yesterday we were supposed to get judgment and they adjourned it to today. So we are still hoping that before the end of today, INEC will be instructed to put us in the ballot. You can see how we are being sidelined. If I did not walk into this place for another reason, I wouldn't have known what is going on here. To be very frank, I was not told by my party because they kept us in court.
Well, mixed reactions right there from Edo State. But one thing is sure, Edo State seems to be ready for the by-elections tomorrow. So we'll keep our eyes and our ears on the ground and, of course, give you updates on that. And moving on, of course, Labour is at it again. That is the Nigerian Labour Congress. And this time around, they've given the federal government 7 days ultimatum to return diverted workers' funds. Of course, they are calling the NSITF to return about 40% of the pension that was allegedly diverted, and also calling for the constitution of PENCOM board. Mr. Samuel is still with us, and of course, I would like to have your take on this particular matter.
Yeah, thank you so much. Just 1 second to talk about the election, because I've heard all the state and all those things are platitudes. All those things, the governor had already said that by 2027, every Edo person will be APC. So that language you used is against what all the people are talking about. And this is a man that has also banned the politician, a high-flying politician, want to come to the state without his permission and all of this. So they don't have not shown any iota of fairness, to other parties. So nothing is expected differently. Tomorrow is all APC in Edo, and that is what they have become. So let me leave that at that. Then NLC, yes. There have been so many frauds going on in this country. Diversion of funds, particularly in PENCOM. Pension funds have been diverted heavily by every government. It's not only the Tinubu government. Those they would have borrowed money from PENCOM fund, they don't pay back. And it is happening because, this pension thing is an every month inflow. So it is difficult for you to know whether pension is going broke or not, because people don't retire at the same time. So it's like work in progress. Every time there's progress, every time, so they keep on using money from PENCOM funds, diverting funds from there, and that has been the case. The truth of the matter is, if a leader that is not interested in corruption and fraud comes in and takes an audit, forensic audit of PENCOM, this country will blow up, because so many monies have been taken away from them by leaders at different times without returning them. And one would ask, so why is PENCOM still functioning? Yes, it's functioning because every month there's an inflow from workers' salary, the pension aspect, of it. So it will not go down because people don't retire at the same time. If everybody should retire at the same time and ask for their pension, we'll see trouble. So NLC should put their feet down for the money to be returned, because other funds are like that, and they've not even seen, they cannot even trace, unless somebody that is a president that is interested in changing the corruption trajectory of the country comes in and opens up those kinds of war. So NLC, for some time now, people have been seeing them as a Hitler bulldog, but I don't think it's their fault. It's the fault of the government in power. There isn't any repressive means to shut them up. But they shouldn't be afraid of all those, because that is what they stand for. So they should insist that the funds be returned.
All right. Our time is fast spent, but before I let you go on the show this morning, quite an interesting turn of things for the prison overcrowding. Now, the federal government is tasking the public, philanthropists, on inmate and decongestion. With this call coming from the federal government, of course, this is on the heels of the recent jailbreak that happened at the Kefi Medium Correctional Center. Do you think, if this call is yielded, we're going to see a change in our prison issues and challenges?
Yeah, thank you so much. Prison break, prison overcrowd, and all of those have become retreats in this country. If we run prisons the way they are run overseas, we won't be having these issues. The problem is that we do things our own way. Unfortunately, our own way is not the best and have not shown any sign of upward movement in the country. Calling on philanthropists and others to come and contribute and all of those is one of those things that happen in this country that people are getting tired of. Because we believe that if we do the right thing, we don't need to call people to come and assist, right? We know projects that private sector, high net worth individuals can be called upon to assist, but not projects like people congestion. I mean, what are they doing? They will contribute money to build new prisons or what? They should forget about calling on people. They should do the right thing. It doesn't take anything. We've been running prisons for how many years since independence? We've been doing that. And we've not gotten it right. It's not a function of we don't have money to do so or we don't know the policy to put in place. It's because we don't want to do the right thing. I bet you, if they say, look, there will be prison congestion, because as judicial system, remember, how many years ago, after 2023 elections, we noticed that even the Supreme Court, the judges there were too few to handle cases. Do you understand? So when we have loopholes in recruitment, employment of judges at different levels of the judiciary, cases will continue to linger.
All right, Mr. Sam, I'm afraid I would have to cut you short at this point, and that's because we have some bills to pay. But I want to thank you so very much for being part of the show this morning. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and your opinion with us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yes.